everyone, and welcome back to another LEGO Marvel display set video on my channel. Today we are checking out the She-Hulk display model. Now I am posting this video a bit earlier than the actual release date for She-Hulk last year, and that is due to the fact that I have a lot of videos that I need to get out, and I'm just speeding up the process here, and I want to kind of do it in a nice orderly fashion, and I also want to get a few more of these display sets out there before the movies come out. So without further ado, let's get on into it. Starting off with the figures, I decided to go with the basics from the last episode. Now, I always stick with the 4 minifigures from the show. I sometimes do 5, but that is a very rare time. Anyways, with our first figure, we have the main character, of course, She-Hulk. She-Hulk uses the same skin tone that her character from 2018 did, as well as the same hairpiece, which is Miss Marvel's hairpiece, in the dark green. As you can see, I also gave her all new printing on the arms, legs, shoes, and torso there. I tried to base it roughly off of the CMF figure that I did a while back, as well as mixed in a few parts from this year's She-Hulk figure, which I can maybe build this set if we get a Daredevil figure in the future. But spoiling the next minifigure here, we of course have Daredevil. Now this is of course his gold and red suit from the show, which is different from his Netflix one, which is basically just red and a bit of black, and I believe there's another suit where he is white and then another one where it's mostly black. But yeah, this is the gold iteration. For him, I gave him the Black Panther ears just flipped around in the pearlescent gold color, as well as the face is also in the pearlescent gold with dual molded arms showing the gold and the red with some dark brown hands there. I couldn't figure out a way to make the batons have gold endings, so I just went with some dark red batons there. And he also has an all new torso print, which is based off of CM4 size She-Hulk set. And finally, I gave him some dual molded legs. For our third minifigure in the set is a character I never thought I'd do in LEGO until now, and as you guys will see later on in the year, I might do him again. And of course, that is Emil Blonsky. There you have the picture of him on the right there, and that is the outfit I kind of took inspiration from. He basically just has a white torso with some plain white legs. The arms are dual molded, of course, with the sleeves rolled up, so it is half white and half, I believe, nougat or light nougat. I'm not sure. I gave him an all new face expression, as well as some new torso printing there, trying to balance the white on white. Didn't really work out that well. Maybe I should have done a bit gray on the outside. Besides the point, I also gave him a handcuff as his accessory, as he does go to jail in the final scene, as well as the Han Solo hairpiece in light gray. And finally, for the minifigures, we have the main, I guess, villain of the series. I don't know really if you can call him a villain, but it is Todd Phelps. Now for him, it was a pretty simple minifigure to do. There weren't many new things to make for him except for the face print. I tried to base it off of my CMF figure of him from my She-Hulk series. So for that, I gave him the big, wide grin smile. And for him, I gave him a plaid shirt, even though in the movie or show it is kind of a red leather jacket. Didn't really realize that until after this was done. I just didn't bother to change it because I think this still looks good. I kept the Jay's hairpiece in black, as well as gave him a black scarf and some black pants. As well as for an accessory, I gave him the serum that he takes from She-Hulk and turns into the Hulk with. And here you have all the minifigures lined up from She-Hulk to Todd. But now, let's get into the build. For the build, the main standout that I kind of wanted to do was the final scene where She-Hulk kind of has her little showdown. I didn't want to include the meta kind of fourth wall breaking element where she goes to Kevin, because the characters don't really end up there except for She-Hulk and Kevin, and I thought I wanted to include the 4 figures. So the build is based off of the conference cabin or the log cabin at the end of the movie, where Emil Blonsky is, of course, presenting himself as the Abomination, where Todd injects himself with the serum, and where Daredevil somehow randomly appears out in the front yard. course, with these sets, I also put the little Lego Marvel collection on that 2x4 tile there, and next to it on the 2x6, I always choose a quote. So for there, it says, "Yeah, about that, it's true, I am a Hulk," from, of course, She-Hulk. Basically, the full-on premise of the show. But let's take a closer look at the set. Starting off with the front, there isn't much to it. You have a few shrubs on the side there, as well as you can see that is how I built the log cabin roof there. It is a bit of a rough technique, as I'm not really good with building roofs, but that is what I settled on, and I think it looks pretty good for the rugged kind of look of the cabin. I mixed in a bunch of brick elements here, as you can see, with the grates, as well as with a dark brown trim, and I gave it a little bit of stone pathing up to the door frame there. It is a bit bigger in the actual scene, but of course I had to downscale it to fit inside the base. And as you can see with the base, I did a purple and green translucent 1x2 tile, as I usually do to incorporate which type of movie or show it is. If you look up at the top of the building, you also get this new piece, which is the slopes with the arch in the middle to fit the window. Now, that was of course totally up to me to build that, and as well as you can see, to build the lining around that window, I used these new kind of 1x1 round slash stud type of things with studs on the side, so I could attach a plate there to fill in the gaps, which I think looks really smooth and clean. Now let's take a look at the interior. For the first part of the interior, I of course had to make the main conference base room, where you have the chairs. Of course, they are all situated in different angles there, using the studs to face forward and using the 2x2 plates with a stud in the middle to swivel them all on different angles. I also put a little fireplace in the back corner. As you can see in the show, it does have a little fireplace. It's a basic technique. You have the kind of fence right there with two studs on the side to put your kind of tools to work the fireplace. You have the fire in the middle, as well as a few different stone colors there. And I wanted to also put the motivational quotes on the side there. And now, as you can see, as an Easter egg here, I did one for Bruce Banner, Achieve Everything. I couldn't actually find out who the actual author of this quote was. However, this is a direct quote from the scene. And then this one, Break Your Silence, Learn to Howl. I just thought of the alpha male type of thing that they usually capture in this scene. So I wanted to do that with a wolf type of quote, using a navy blue circle tile right there. As you can also see lining the room, I have these 1x6 tiles there in dark brown to break up the contrast there, as well as these windows behind here with some slits to give it that nice log cabin texture. And as I said before, I did downsize it, so it is not this small in the actual show, but I had to fit it all into here. So for the next part, you have the stage. For the stage, it was a pretty basic build. All I did was really put these bricks down to lay the foundation, and then put some studs on the side there, which are the specialty bricks, and put this big screen. Of course, unfortunately, you cannot print anything onto them, so it is just a blank screen. My plan was to put Abomination on there, so if you want, Photoshop it in there if you'd like. There are a few studs for Todd to step on there, as you can see him in the display right here. I also wanted to incorporate a few little Easter eggs into the set, so underneath the stage as you are building it, there is a phone and a slice of pizza to kind of show the uncleanliness that these guys probably have, as well as a phone for maybe She-Hulk if you want, or for Todd in case he lost it. And here you have a little display outside showing Daredevil and She-Hulk with, of course, Emil captured. As you can see, there are a few flowers on the shrubs behind them there. And of course, there's a better look at the stone path up to the door. But there you pretty much have it. There is the She-Hulk set. Of course, here is the display model there with everything incorporated. Of course, nobody came to Todd's seminar, which is pretty sad. And then you have Emil getting arrested outside by Daredevil and She-Hulk. Honestly, a pretty good set, and one of my favorites that I've built for this series. But of course, it would not be complete without the box art, which is what I have been doing recently with my newest wave of the 2022 wave. So over here you have the She-Hulk Attorney at Law cabin crash, and of course the picture from just before there with the Marvel Collection logo, the Lego logo, of course, up there and on the side. It is an 18 plus set 76907, comes with 567 pieces, and yes, that is the exact count. And you have the Disney Plus logo on the bottom right corner, which is something new I incorporated, as I never had that in the other sets. But anyways, if you guys did go on to enjoy this video, please make sure to subscribe and like it, as it tells me what you guys want to see, as well as it helps me reach out to others who may enjoy my content. Also, thank you guys for all the support recently. We are almost at 500 subscribers, and it'd be amazing if we could get there by the end of the month. Now stay tuned, because the next LEGO project that we are doing is the Phase 1 LEGO sets, and no, they are not going to be in the display style, so get ready for that. But anyways, thanks guys.